Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Bahrain Today. Join us as we bring entertaining segments highlighting a variety of topics and initiatives. Before we get started, I would like to welcome you all to contact us via our social accounts shown on the screen. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Starting off with the culinary world. With us in the studio tonight is pastry chef and manager of Reverie, a home-based patisserie, and the head pastry chef of At the Table, Dana Abdallah, who's not just an ordinary chef. She creates art pieces from food inspired by our Bahraini heritage and culture. With us in the studio is Dana Abdallah herself. Hello Dana and welcome to Bahrain Today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Great, I'm fine. Dana, of course, in the beginning, everyone's wondering about your background. I know that you studied banking and finance. Tell us more about that.
So I studied banking and finance, specifically business and finance in University of Bangor. But then I decided to, midway through my studies, I realized that, I want to become a pastry chef. But I couldn't really go back to square one and start again. And since I already wanted to have a business of my own and follow the footsteps of my father and ultimately manage the business, the family business, I said, okay, why not? I will continue my studies, and then when I graduate, I'm gonna enroll in a culinary school.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's where it started professionally, and then I studied at. I saw an advertisement of a program by BIHR that they brought this
unique kind of program to prepare you for being a chef.
Yeah, it was from Switzerland, from HTMI. So it was kind of like what BIBF did. You obtained this certificate from UK. They did the same thing.
But it's based here in Bahrain.
Yeah, and it was a hospitality degree.
Great.
A diploma in hospitality.
Great.
So I said, I'm not going to lose anything. It's only for 1 year, one year of study and then 1 year of practice.
Yes, absolutely.
So I said it's a good opportunity for me to step into the culinary career professionionally. So I joined.
Great.
And that's all where it started.
That kicked off your career in the culinary world.
Yeah.
But I want to know, did you have this hobby in you since you were a kid? Did you like to go into the kitchen, help your mother? I'm sure that in a certain period of your life, this talent of yours was triggered. Yeah. So talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, basically, I started cooking when I was around 15, 16, when I was in high school, because I was on a diet, so I cooked my own diet meals. So basically, pastry was against my dietary values.
Ironic. And now you're a pastry chef.
Exactly. So, but then, I got bored, and then I saw, you remember when it was the trend of red velvet cupcakes?
Yes.
It was something new.
Yes.
So that was interesting for me. I decided that I wanted give baking a try. So I tried it, and little did I know that it would spark some sort of a frenzy.
Yes.
And then I started baking, and then the more I got involved in it, and the more I
got to it.
Yeah, I got
developed the talent.
Yeah.
I mean, baking or the culinary word of baking is not easy. Let me tell you, because if you miss one ingredient or you have something more or less, it will just lead for the whole, piece to go wrong. I tried it myself. I always go for Betty Crocker cakes. They are much easier, and you get a nice result.
Yeah.
But then you moved into something much bigger than just baking. You mixed it with art.
Yeah.
So you create pieces like the piece we have with us in the studio. Why did you decide to go for that?
Yeah, well, as you said, that baking is more of a scientific. It's scientific and meticulous and very detailed. And then I really loved painting since I was a child. It was my hobby.
Okay.
It has always been my hobby. So
You decided to mix them.
Yeah, that's, I mean, what I really love about pastry is that I get to mix art and science and my imagination into those pieces that you see in front of you.
That's really great. And why did you decide on focusing on our Bahraini heritage with your piece of art?
I felt like it's a field that it's not really tapped into, and you know, I like to highlight our heritage, because our heritage has always been about craftsmanship. Yes. And chocolatier and patisserie is all about craftsmanship and love and really it's a lot of commitment and a lot of passion.
Yes, absolutely.
So I thought that there is a lot in common between patisserie and our heritage.
Absolutely.
So I decided to mix them all together and come up with something interesting, so that, you know, people could be more curious and you know, maybe they'd be interested to
learn more about the heritage.
Yeah,
absolutely. I must say that's absolutely noble and beautiful of you.
Thank you.
And I want to know, what exactly do you do now in Reverie? What kind of products do you provide? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so Reverie is really all about French classic pastries, but now I've decided to focus more on chocolatier, because chocolate is my passion. But then I also, like, every once in a while I offer something new, such as mousse cakes, entremets, macarons. I mean, when I started, it was all about macarons.
Yeah.
But then slowly I got into more products, so I decided to offer them. So I also want to introduce petit fours, and
it's great that, you know, every now and then you're venturing into something new, learning, mastering a new kind of dish. I love it personally. Who doesn't like chocolate? I mean, everyone loves chocolate. I also know that I'm not sure, but are you planning to display these pieces you create in an auction? And if you would, which causes would you be going for?
Yeah, definitely. I really want to focus on water, because water is the source of life. And unfortunately, there are countries, especially in Africa, that don't really have an access to
clean water.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, it just hurts, because like it's our basic right. And I always wanted to do something that I mean, everyone can donate.
Absolutely.
Everyone can have an access to money and then donate. But then I wanted to do something out of love, you know, I wanted to involve
something tangible.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So because I worked on this painting with so much love, with so much passion, I decided to put it on auction, and the projects would be called Dilmun Water Well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so I just hope that it will work.
And where can people find this piece and, you know, go for it?
Right now, I haven't really approached. Okay, I approached not ARD. It's called khairiyat.org. They still haven't organized anything officially.
But I'm sure you'll be announcing all the details about the auction.
Yeah,
and people can find you on
Instagram.
Okay.
on Reverie_BH. That's my Instagram, and I'm gonna post the details. If anyone is interested, they can just direct message me, and then I'll be happy to.
Great. And can you tell us more about the chocolate pieces we have here? So these are made from scratch?
Yeah, these are all made from scratch.
Are you sure? You did not just melt any kind of chocolate and put it in a mold?
Well, basically, if you melt chocolate, you have to temper it.
Yes.
And tempering is also like a very...
art of itself, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's because chocolate is very sensitive, so you have to baby it, and you have to really be careful with it to be able to get this the shiny result. And even, I mean, if you just melt it and then put it in a mold, they won't release.
Absolutely, I'm sure everyone's dying to try these chocolates. What are your future plans, Dana, before we wrap up the segment?
My future plans right now, I'm focusing on on my second project. It's with my friends. It's called At the Table.
Yeah.
We're doing pop culture dinners with a mix of entertainment, and it's a really nice
Beautiful.
project. I'm really enjoying it a lot.
Great.
And also I want to like perfect my craft and raise awareness about chocolate in Bahrain, and ultimately maybe have a shop of my own.
I'm sure you will. I wish you all the best in what you're doing,
Thank you
and
so
we'll be
much.
definitely waiting for you to announce all the details about the auction.
Thank you.
All
I
the
will.
best.
Thank you so much.
Viewers, that was a yummy and inspiring segment. Don't go away. We'll be right back for more. Welcome back. Jungle Bounce is the largest inflatable sports theme park in Bahrain, and it is open for all ages. Located in Sar, it has over 40 exciting games and continues to maintain it well. Let's watch the following report for more. Welcome back, viewers. To talk more about this fun place, we are joined here by the director of Jungle Bounce, Tamas Hovani. Hello and welcome to Bahrain Today.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Very good. Thank
How's
you
the
very
weather
much.
with you?
Lovely.
It's nice. So Tamas, tell us more about Jungle Bounce. What's the idea behind it?
Basically, it's a children theme park, all based on sport inflatable games. Because obviously these days children, they don't really go out.
Absolutely.
They all stay at home. They play with their tablets. They're busy with their
Absolutely.
phone.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure these kids are going to get out and get some activities.
I love the idea and I love the concept behind it. I have a 2-year-old daughter, so I love taking her outdoors to, play and explore things. But the weird thing about the park, or let me say the exciting thing, that it hosts all ages. How is that? It's
All
not just for
ages.
kids.
Oh yeah, I designed the whole park, so any ages. We have toddlers corner for smaller kids from 2 to 4 years old, and the big games are all up to even adults they can play.
Great. And what are the feedbacks or comments you receive when parents come and, play this with their kids?
People, they love the place. That's the general. Of course, you can't make everyone happy, but most of the people, they like the place.
Great.
Yes, definitely.
And how many games do you have there?
Oof, we have 30, 40 plus games.
Wow.
So for all ages, adults, kids, they all can play
Satisfy
the
all needs and all,
Everyone.
energy.
games. Everyone.
You make sure that once they leave, they're just straight to bed.
Definitely. I want to make sure they get tired.
Great. And first, to maintain such a big place with more than 30 games, as you mentioned, how do you ensure that the safety measures are, proper and up to the standards?
Well, we had, obviously we're checking the games every single day, make sure nothing is broken. If anything needs to be fixed, we fix it in the same day. or if any game is broken, we just replace it for another one. We always have extra games.
So you check the games on daily basis?
Every day.
And you make sure that all the games are up to standard every day?
It has to be, yes.
Great. And in terms of hygiene as well?
We clean the games every single day. And usually every 8 to 10 days, we clean the entire park with chemicals.
Beautiful. That's
especially
very
now.
nice. Yeah, yes. And you know, how can parents book the place for birthdays?
They can just turn up and just pay the entrance, which is the price is very low. I can really say it like our prices are the lowest in Bahrain, because so many places are so expensive. I'm talking about average families. They go to one place, they have to pay like 10, 15, 20 BD just to go in, and they are limited for a few hours. I used to take my kid, my son is 8 years old, so I used to take my kid to places in different countries as well. And always after 2 hours, you have to leave. And that was really annoys me. Like you go, you pay a lot of money.
But you are limited with time.
For everything you have to pay extra, and you're limited for 2 hours and you have to leave. I find that ridiculous. So I wanted to make sure like the kids, they come and they are limited, they can stay as long as they want.
So they can stay as long as they want.
Yeah, you pay 4 BD and you can stay all day.
That's very, very nice and beautiful. I'm sure that there is a game in the park that everyone loves, like the highlight of the place. Can you tell us more about that?
Probably the rodeo shark.
Why?
They sit on a shark. It's pretty much the same like the bull game. You sit on a shark and
that's really
let's
great.
see how long you can sit on it.
So you're I would say new to this world of parks.
It's pretty new, yes.
Less than a year, as we talked earlier. And since you found that a lot of guests do love the concept, are you planning to even expand across Bahrain to more branches?
Definitely. We would like to open more branches in Bahrain and maybe go to Saudi, all over the GCC.
So this is part of your future plans?
Oh, definitely. That's just the first park we want to open.
That's very nice. And what are you planning to do also with the park? You just want to focus on inflatable toys?
No, we want
to
add
expand?
a few more things. Yeah.
What do you have in mind?
We might do something on the side. We might do some paintball, because there's only one place existing at the moment, and they say it's not that good.
Okay.
So we might want to do some paintball, but there is so many different things we can add.
So you are focused to having this whole center of entertainment for family and kids to
families,
enjoy.
all ages. So from birthday parties, school field trips, nurseries, kindergartens, all kids of Bahrain, they can come and visit the place.
That's really beautiful.
7 days a week.
That's very nice. So you don't get tired all day,
well,
every
I have
day.
stuff.
Great. And I'm sure your son enjoys, you know, being part of this. And he helps you market the place as well.
He's the model, yes.
Yeah, great. And how do you ensure that you know, you can market the park properly? Which means do you normally go for?
Social media, but a lot of people, they just mouth to mouth. They're just telling to their friends and families.
Word of mouth, absolutely.
We didn't really focus on marketing. We just open the doors and people just start coming.
Great. And as the director, how do you deal with feedback and comments of your customers?
As I said, obviously you can't make everyone happy, right? You always have some difficult people, but well, what to do? You give them a free entrance, or you just try to make them happy, I guess. Somehow.
And as an entrepreneur, do you have any message that you'd like to send for others who are interested to, you know, join this world of entertainment?
If you believe in something, just do it. Don't listen to nobody, just go ahead.
Great. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I'll definitely be visiting with my daughter. Thank you.
Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Viewers, that was fun. Go visit with your family and have a quality time with those you love. We'll be right back. What you wear is how you present yourself to the world, especially today when human contacts are so quick. Fashion is an instant language. With us here tonight is Lulu Al-Rumihi, who doesn't follow fashion trends, but rather sets them. Hello, Lulu, and welcome to Bahrain Today.
Hi, thank you for having me today. It's an absolute honor.
It's my pleasure to have you on the show. In the beginning, I want to know, how did you start your line with Lulua? What is it called?
With Love Lelouch.
With Love Lelouch. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful name. So I want to know, how did you start it? Why did you decide on this name?
Okay, so I'm an interior designer graduate, and when I've always been interested in fashion, and I've always know that I wanted to have my own fashion brand. So when I did graduate, I was like, yalla, this is the time to start. And with Love Lelouch stands for that every piece is made with so much love. And as you know, Fatima, in 2020, a plain black abaya is not enough in today's world.
Absolutely.
So the whole brand is a modest fashion brand that is based on Instagram, and it is currently identified as art on fabric. So yeah.
And where do you get these art pieces from? Do you draw them yourself?
Yeah, I draw them myself.
Each piece?
Each piece, yeah.
That
you
is
either
beautiful.
have a customized abaya or a printed one, because people are a bit afraid of having their own like art on abaya, and it's something new.
Yes.
So we have two printed abayas and art abayas.
Beautiful. I'm just mesmerized by the piece we have with the beautiful model here. Hi, how are you? Great. I want to know, you name each piece, am I correct? Or you have names for each piece. How does that work? How do you decide on naming each piece?
So after I'm done with the painting, I go and ask my mom and sisters, and I'm like, what do you think I should name this? And just by looking at the piece, you kind of get names and you kind of put the names on.
And what sets your brands, differently than other abaya brands?
Well, it's a modest fashion brand, and it's the very first modest fashion brand that you see art on abayas. Yani it's a new concept, new idea.
So people can have their artworks on the abaya itself.
Yeah.
And how does that work?
So we have a couple of pieces from my collection, Picturesque. We have 4 pieces, and you can customize your own piece as well.
Beautiful.
You can tell me if you want the sleeve to be wide or to be a blazer type. Do you want an art or like a printed art on the abaya? Do you want it a jacket length? Because I think it would look so good like on a travel wear, like a white top with a high-waisted pants and a jacket. I think it would look amazing.
That's beautiful.
So inshallah we'll expand and to have more.
I was going to ask you about your future plans. What are you planning to do with the brand?
Like we're going to do blouses, dresses, inshallah, pants. We're going to expand more.
And you're going to focus to have art within these pieces as well, I'm sure.
We are being identified by art on fabric.
This piece itself is so beautiful. It's a statement piece. I can notice with your abayas that they are statement pieces. You do want to wear them for special occasions. It makes you stand out within the crowd. Where can people find these abayas, Lulwa?
On Instagram, but inshallah next month we're going to be in the Moda Expo exhibition in Gulf Hotel, so people can come and join us. Inshallah.
Great. And you do participate in events throughout the year, and I'm sure you announce them on your social media accounts. Which events are closest to you?
I actually had my abayas in the lofts in Riyadh, and it was a very good experience last month. But inshallah next month it's going to be in Bahrain. So this is my first time participating in something in Bahrain.
Wow. I was going to ask you about your participation in the GCC as well. You had a taste in that.
Yeah.
So you did send your abayas outside of Bahrain?
Riyadh only.
Only Riyadh. Are you planning to explore other markets as well?
Yeah, inshallah. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, I'm so looking forward.
Because I think, I really do believe that your pieces are beautiful and they'll have great demand outside. I must ask, who were your main supporters when you wanted to start your brand?
I started my brand like بفضل الله وبتيسير الله. This my dad was a big impact, had a big impact.
Absolutely.
And he lightens my thoughts and always pushes me to do more. And he always believes that when you do what you love with the efforts, you get to where you're supposed to be. Yani. So, and my sister, yani, she supports me and she like thinks with me how to manage money and all, because I have zero information how to manage money. So she helps me a lot in that.
So you do have people in your life, which are mainly family, who support you to, take your brand to the next phase.
Yes.
That's really, really great. And I wish you, of course, all the best in this. But I do want to know as well, why did you focus on having your brand online rather than a shop? Did you want to, ensure that it reaches to more people this way? Do you feel like this generation is more focused into social media marketing? Why did you decide on that?
Yeah, I mean, social media is everything now. So when I view my abayas on Instagram, I can reach to more people than having my own, like my shop, let's say in Rafah. So inshallah, this is going to be the next step. But when people know me and like having the enough attention, and then I can go ahead and have my shop.
Absolutely. And do you have a piece itself that is very close to you?
Yeah, this is the very first piece I've painted. So it's called Red Lavish. Yeah,
it's
and I just love this piece.
I love the color combination with the purple and orange. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
So these paintings are all done by you?
Yeah, and imagine if it was for a travel wear, a short jacket with a white pants and
I would
white
go for
blouse.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not much of an abaya person, but I would definitely go for statement pieces like this.
We'll have more options for you,
It's
inshallah.
very, very beautiful. And of course, I wish you all the best. Do you have a message as an entrepreneur that you'd like to send to anyone who's interested to enter the fashion world?
I'd like to tell them that your uniqueness will take you a long way, and you have to bring some value to Bahrain in order to get the people's support. Like when I first started, it was a mess, and I didn't do well at all. And when I came up with the painted abayas thing, it was the thing, yani. So I've learned that when you add a value, people buy from you, and they don't mind. They'll pay you a lot when you give them a
when you believe in your pieces.
Yeah,
absolutely. And where do you see with Love Lulush in 5 years?
In 5 years, inshallah, in all GCC.
I'm definitely sure you'll be achieving that.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much, Lulwa, for being here with us on the show, and I wish you all the best. I look forward for your line of short jackets and the other things we talked about, and I'm sure they will stand out in the market. Thank you so much. Ladies, don't forget to set your own trends. Stay tuned, we'll be right back for more. And that is all for this evening. We thank all the guests who are with us today, and we will see you next time in Bahrain Today. If you'd like to be with us on the show, or you have suggestions or questions for us, then contact us on our accounts shown on the screen. Goodbye and God bless.